Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday. It's time for the Grand Central Sports Hub. I'm Jay-Z here by myself while I wait for my co-host to show up. Oh, look at that timing. It's Diamond Dan.
Hello.
And he's all ready to go because we have one of the best COVID busters coming up in about 50 minutes. And that is the NFL.
Now we're talking. The NFL is back.
Kicking off. The NFL. See, Andrew knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Well,
and if he's excited, I can't imagine the way you feel.
Well, I forgot that the NFL was even back until
I did too.
I had 3 fantasy drafts in 1 minute, or on top of each other. But when we started this endeavor, when you guys started the show, this was the day that we all thought would never come, where literally every sport in America is on tonight. You got the NFL kickoff, you got baseball, soccer, football, basketball, hockey, even tennis. I mean,
I don't even know. Golf starts, right?
No, golf is over.
Golf is over. I thought they started the season this weekend. No?
Oh, maybe they do. I don't know. I just figured that by the time the Tour Championship rolled around, that was it, and I stopped paying attention.
And what's amazing is
now it's like we're going into the what do you call it? The majors, right?
We're all screwed up right now. But what's the most amazing thing is out of all of this is that the NFL is a machine, and they're starting on time.
With fans.
In some cities, there's fans, and let's be honest, I don't see a reason why you can't allow a percentage of fans in a 60,000, 70,000 seat building. That's outdoor for the most part. Is there kickoff in your house right now? Has there been a tackle? What's going on?
No, there's just a little guy here hiding. He's ready for football.
Joe Judge would be proud. Like, you have everyone going nuts. So, here's the deal for tonight. We've got to talk football. We've got to talk a lot of football. But we're waiting for our birthday boy to join us before we kick it off in full gear this evening. Understandably, he had other birthday events to attend to. Matthew is turning 21 today. So it's a big party, 21 again for like the 21st time. And we will share a toast. And speaking of sharing, I shared the link to the show in the comments. And if anyone would like to join us this evening and wish Matthew a happy birthday, the link to the show is in the comments. Hop on, I'll let you in, and you could give your birthday wishes. That sounds like a fun thing, If you bring a cake with you or a drink, all the better. If anyone made any rainbow cookies, he loves those. He loves the rainbow cookies and the cannolis. So if anyone wants to send them over, you're more than welcome.
I love rainbow cookies.
The what? Rainbow cookies? Oh, they're amazing. They're the best.
I think that would be a good start bench cut. Cookies from Rockland Bakery.
But you can't get the rainbow cookies in other areas of the country.
But my wife makes them.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Feliz cumpleaños. Agori.
It's your 21st birthday for the 21st time.
For the second time, you fucking idiot. You can get rainbow cookies because the Soriano family recipe exists in Utah. You could also get authentic tiramisu cake from Biscott's Italian bakery in South Jordan, Utah. You can also get pretty good beets from Maxwell's.
Wait, we have to go full screen for this. There we go.
So this was on Triple D. It's a pizzeria next to the Break in South Jordan. They make like 14-ounce meatballs.
Hey,
so my pizza guy rolled up as I was coming out here to do the show.
Speaking of Triple D, are those new cans again?
Yeah. After my month-long test drive, I didn't like them.
What did you get? Seth would be so impressed.
So they were both skull candies. The other ones were crushers. They had the adjustable bass, and really, unless I was listening to Biggie, which it's like only Biggie, or Metallica, it really didn't make a difference. But the cans, for being over the ear, were super narrow. The noise canceling is amazing on both of them. So these are great. One step down, but the cups are wider because I sleep with them on. My wife's like you; everything's got to be dead silent and dark. I sleep with them on. They're super comfortable to roll over on your side.
In my bedroom, speaking of, in Triangle, Virginia, here, there's no window. It's pitch black. I love it. It's amazing. There's one problem.
Legally, that's not a bedroom.
There's a closet in a bathroom. But here's the problem. When you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't have a nightlight in, and you gotta go take a piss, and you walk into the wall because you don't know where the hell you're going. I was on my hands and knees like Helen Keller trying to feel out where the door to the bathroom was the first night I was here, and I'm traumatized. I tell you.
I noticed that Dan is strategically muting and unmuting his microphone.
Well, he's got excited children about football tonight, right? So
everybody's ready for football.
They're feeding off his energy. My kid
doesn't usually eat sugar, so she's a slice of tiramisu cake in between the espresso and the sugar. I'm gonna have her do yard work for the rest of the night.
So listen, we've said we're gonna try to complete the show by kickoff, because this is a night to celebrate for your birthday and for the kickoff of the season. So we like to go around what we're drinking. I have a white wine barrel aged peach triple ale, a 9%, Hardywood something peach. I can't pronounce it. Cuvée peach, and I got it at the wonderful Wegmans. I mean, Wegmans is we've discussed. It's amazing, right? This is very good, by the way. Very good.
So, does that tickle the clit and work on the G spot at the same time?
I mean, it's the girth on this is absurd, right? It's out of control, right? So I don't know.
Are we still talking about beer?
Well, once he said peach coulis, I was like,
but it's a wine and barrel aged triple. I mean, it's really strong, but it's perfect for a night like tonight where we celebrate all the major sports in action.
The Mets started a throwaway series with the upstate New York team today.
Well, we'll talk about that actually in a second, about baseball bringing us back from the dead last night. Dan, what are you drinking?
Tonight, it's the seasons are beginning to change here on the East Coast, so it's Bentwater Brewing from Lynn, Massachusetts. Shout out Bentwater, a little rye IPA. And it's got it's blue and orange in honor of Mr. Soriano.
Yeah,
the New York Metropolitans.
Appreciate that.
Look at that. I look out for you.
What's your birthday drink tonight, Mr. Soriano?
Well, my birthday drink started with a bottle of Cabernet. Right about 6 hours ago.
For breakfast?
Yeah. I am having a Coca-Cola right now because I'm going to be crushing probably some natties when I go inside to watch football and baseball. So,
of course,
I've got it. Yeah, I've got to level set a little bit. I was fine to drive, but boy, I've definitely got a grape headache going on.
Yeah, no, I mean you got to take a minute so you last all night. That's what she said.
How hot is it there?
It's beautiful. It's like 72 degrees tonight. On Labor Day, it was 100 degrees, and then we had this ridiculous windstorm come through, and it dropped on Tuesday to 47. And we've been slowly climbing back up. So I am wearing jeans for the first time in months, but seriously, it's perfect out right now.
Good.
I have like 200% humidity, so that's why I've retreated indoors.
Yeah,
it's all better here.
It's absolutely atrocious. So, real quick here, we were not doing well on the baseball front. I think we're still not doing great on the baseball front. as far as the Yankees are concerned anyway. Dan, after last night's Deivi Garcia performance, where that was a performance that you expect out of a veteran pitcher, he is composed beyond his years. He's 21 years old. There's a hell of a performance.
Pitching to be traded.
Well, I'm going to say, do you, it's a small sample size, but are you happy that Deivi is still with this team right now?
Yes, I am. I think
can I get upstairs?
I'm a little irritated that other components that the team was not willing to part with are still with the team. But I think Deivi is he's a keeper. I think he's proven that in his first 2 starts. And what the Yankees needed last night was a bleed stopper, right? I mean, the tailspin was in full effect, and you got it from 2 unlikely sources, from Garcia and from Torres, who's had an absolutely terrible, miserable season, and he's broke out of his slump, and maybe that'll going into a homestand, starting off with the Orioles, who Glaber owns the deed to Camden Yards, even though the game is going to be in New York. Maybe this is a sign of positivity. I don't know. And, maybe Judge will be ready to come back. I mean, right now, their goal is to make the playoffs, right?
Is Judge ready to go?
I don't know, buddy. But
just tell him now. No, he's not ready, and he probably won't be ready. Don't get your hopes up, Andrew.
No,
because they can't do 2 at one time.
Andrew, don't get your hopes up. Judge will be back next year.
Yeah, Judge will be back next year. Hopefully.
Judge will be back next year.
Maybe playing for the Yankees.
He's not going to be back anytime soon. I'm sorry. Get used to it.
Can you hear Jason?
Can you hear? Yeah, he just doesn't want to hear me.
Well,
I'll get that.
Andrew.
So, in true Mush fashion yesterday, I go down to the Capitol, whatever they call it now, arena, and do a parlay.
Oh, yeah.
I bet against the Yankees. I bet against the Mets, and I bet the Padres to win. Wouldn't you know it, the Yankees break their losing streak, and the Mets come back, and what happened, Matt? What'd they do?
Hold on. You did tip the over, though, for the Celtics. I'll just say.
Well, the Celtics did win.
Right.
4 home
Sorry,
runs. Man. No, 4 home runs. McNeil, 4th game in a row with a homer. Conforto, the Jimenez, and then the Polar Bear in the 8th, fucking moonshot again. Now, McNeil and Conforto in the 7th both had ridiculous outfield plays. 1 in left field, 1 in right field. Conforto's with the bases loaded and 2 outs just made an over-the-shoulder catch while crashing into the wall. McNeil's was while sliding into the outfield wall. Both guys just had amazing games. The come from behind win that the Phillies had against the Mets aside. Mets took a couple from the Yankees, a couple from the Phillies. They took one on the Birds, and which helped the Yankees out, since I think the Yankees were behind the Orioles. Who knows? So they're making progress.
So with this Conforto, I guess he's due a contract, right? I was reading
he is
last night. So what do you feel? You're going to have a change next year because there's going to be a new owner. You're probably get a new GM. This is a guy that you probably resign here?
I would resign Conforto. Unlike, Nimmo's a nice player, but Nimmo's probably a guy who you want to be a player.
He's got a great home to first speed when he gets hit or walks.
Yeah,
he's like a thoroughbred.
He's great at sticking his ass in front of the ball. Against righties, he destroys them. He can't hit lefties for shit. What Conforto did was he really took out that same stigma. They used to shift the hell out of him. All year he's been going to left field, and he's got a good arm. Conforto played in the World Series before he even played a regular season game, and kind of almost like a Chris Kreider type of scenario, where the guy took a big step backwards the next year and had to mature a little bit. I got Amazon coming up here, so excuse me if I have to interact. But thank you. You can just drop it on the porch.
What you got? We're gonna have an unboxing. Time for another unboxing. It's time for another unboxing. It's time for another unboxing.
That's probably from Mrs. Soriano, and I got in trouble for opening an Amazon package once. It was a very long, drawn-out fight. I have learned my lesson. So yeah, I think Conforto is a good. He's never going to be, a Vlad Guerrero type guy, but he's definitely a good, solid, number 5 hitter. I can't say enough good things about him. He just keeps his head down and he fucking works his ass off. So I would re-sign him. He's clutch. I think you build your outfield kind of around him because left field, if the DH sticks around, left field is going to belong mostly to Dom Smith. What the fuck? Because Dom Smith's going to be in there back and forth to first, and then you have McNeil who could play. He's going to play mostly left field, but anywhere else on the diamond. So,
Dan, that's a great visor.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, to rep the home team.
That's right.
I did. Rudy, left the Rockets gear on the shelf tonight. I'm not feeling the Game 4 love, but hope springs eternal when it comes to plus 3,000.
Yeah. So
you know what the keys to the Chiefs winning tonight are?
Actually, I was going to go to you with this, and we'll pivot from baseball to the real story of the day, which is the NFL, and we have the Chiefs and who the hell are they playing?
They're playing the Texans, division rivals. True story. I went to a Texans-Chiefs game once in Kansas City, and this is a divisional rival game in the AFC Central, right, or the West, or whatever division they're in. And if you went to an Eagles-Giants game, there are guys getting knifed in the parking lot, and these people are making fun of each other and then apologizing for for calling this other guy or something. But
sorry.
The what? Yeah, sorry. They're like Canadians, but in the Midwest. So, you're going to have 16,000 people at Arrowhead tonight, and that stadium holds about 100,000 people and is known as the loudest stadium in the land, and they're going to get their rings. And, aside from, in my personal opinion, anytime a team, like the Chiefs wins their first Super Bowl or whatever in 100 years, they're going to have, the focus of this game in this bizarre time of year, time and space, I guess. The focus of this game is not going to be on the football. It's going to be on what the setup is like in Kansas City, raising their banner, and have Patrick Mahomes, cashing checks like Johnny Manziel. So the Texans plus 8 is my pick for tonight. I just think the hangover is going to be there, and the Chiefs, they've got Tyreek Hill, right? He's back, and then this guy Mecole Hardman, right, their wide receiver there. I think if he can get into the Houston secondary, you might have some action there. But I just think that the focus is going to be elsewhere. And even though Houston's down to basically Deshaun Watson at this rate, I think they'll put a couple in the end zone, and the Chiefs will just have to eat it. But
and the Chiefs will put more than a couple in the end zone, and that'll be it.
I mean, as long as it's under 8 points, either way, I don't care.
Fine.
But it's just going to be, people don't really know what to expect. Football snuck up on everybody, right?
It's true. The fantasy drafts came out of nowhere, the whole thing, and all of a sudden it's time for football.
No preseason had a lot to do with that, and I think with the delayed seasons and playoffs, and there's 2 sports that are in playoff scenarios right now. Baseball is at the quarter. They're almost to the finish line. And we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, when I was in New York last weekend and the weekend before, I'm walking by a TV and the blue and white game was on. I was like, what is the blue and white game? And apparently, can I finish?
No, you can't.
So Joe Judge, this new potentially innovative coach for the New York Football Giants, decided that because there was no preseason and there were no matchups, they did more or less an inter-squad scrimmage as part of their, culling process for their 53-man roster. So They obviously have the rights to play at or whatever it is, MetLife, the big air conditioner in East Rutherford, and they took the chance to get out there and play. So I don't know if other teams did something similar, but I thought it was a good idea. And obviously the quarterbacks had no contact jerseys on, but starting tonight, these guys are going to go from 0 to 60 in a weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And that's the question. So without the preseason and not an intense training camp, so how's that going to affect gameplay? Should we expect some really shitty week 1 football or what? Like, I don't know.
We're going to watch, Giants fans are going to have to suffer a game against the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Monday night. So it's like, they always said when Sunday Night Football came around, the marquee game of the week, was on Sunday night, and they bumped the shitty game to Monday.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And I guess ABC or whatever, ESPN will do the doubleheader again this year with a West Coast game. But there really aren't well-defined storylines because nobody, like in 2008, Victor Cruz scored 4 touchdowns against the Jets in a preseason game and then went on to win a Super Bowl with that team. Nobody had even heard of Victor Cruz. He went into the Giants undrafted at a UMass. And next thing you know, he's a starting 4th wide receiver. And then 8 months later, they win the Super Bowl. And he scores the longest touchdown in Giants history against the Jets on Christmas Eve. I was there for that. It was awesome. But aside from all that, there's really there's no active storyline aside from the fact that, the Chiefs are defending Super Bowl champions. And the Super Bowl was 8 months ago, and it feels like it was an eternity ago.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So tonight's game, give us a score.
I'll go 17-14 Chiefs.
Low scoring. So you're thinking like maybe some offensive miscues and what have you, is what I'm feeling there with a low. That's low. I would think for the Chiefs, that's a low scoring game.
Who knows? No one knows what to expect. I don't know, Matt. What do you think?
I think it's going to be low for the Chiefs, but I don't think it's going to be that low. I think it's going to be like 27, probably like 27-15.
I think the Chiefs are so damn talented that you're not going to see so much out of them. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to struggle this week. There might be a lot of low scoring games, but I feel like the Chiefs are going to get the rust off fast.
Well, name the starting 20. All right, that's not within
that's from Bristol
margin of
Brothers.
error, but
Is that from Bristol Brothers?
We'll take it. Well, obviously the Chiefs. Name. Aside from like the top 5 quarter, this is the thing about all these fantasy drafts too, right? Is that after the first 5 picks, you go off a cliff, right? You get past McCaffrey, Barkley, Russell Wilson, Mahomes, and maybe. I don't know, Travis Kelce or, even Rob. Like when Rob Gronkowski becomes like your value pick of the draft for fantasy, like what is going on in the NFL?
Dan, I drafted 16th last night or something, and I got Russell Wilson. I was like, I nearly did a dance around the house.
Yeah, there was no quarterbacks in the top 10.
He caught COVID this morning. Russell Wilson.
Fuck off.
Did he really? Well, everybody saw, Bleacher Report, all these, all these guys are picking him as like the MVP of the season, and the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. And I just hope we get to like week 6. But
I have a theory on why you're not going to see COVID in the NFL. They're not gonna test. They're not testing. I'm telling you.
Like your bandana.
The NFL is a machine, and there's no one the NFL loves more than the NFL, and they don't care about the players, money, and the NFL. That is it. End of story. If these guys want to get paid, they gotta play. There's no guaranteed contracts. No one's getting COVID because no one's getting tested.
I want an over/under on when Tua starts. What week will Tua be the starting quarterback in Miami?
Third week, Matt.
3.
I think. Yeah.
3.
Yeah. The Dolphins, they have a history of this. And Josh Rosen, poor Josh Rosen. Oh my God.
That's what happens when you go to college in LA, man.
Does he really suck, or is it just bad circumstance? Does
I
anyone know?
In that quarterback, he was in the same quarterback class as like Jared Allen, right? And,
yeah.
It was him, Darnold, wasn't it him?
Yeah.
Darnold, the kid
Yeah,
from Wyoming.
Yeah, Jared Allen.
Josh Allen. But you know, he got kicked around in the Pac-12 a lot. He really kind of played over his head in his draft year.
That's right. You're a Pac-12 correspondent, so you would know.
Outside.
But
It's nice.
Are they playing, Matt? Is the Pac-12 playing?
no, it's canceled. They're talking about doing a January season.
A January season?
That should be great to sit out in the stadium.
What's the point? Like in January, October, like if you're gonna play. Like what's this wait 3 months?
We talked
like,
about this a couple weeks ago, right?
I know.
If the
We're not
SEC
going back down.
plays, you know, they're going to become the NFL Developmental League once and for all, and that's it, right?
They're gonna come out of
it. And CBS is going to roll in cash, and everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a draft next year, one way or another, right? And
if you're not playing in the SEC, you're not getting drafted. End of story. All right, so I put out a plea for Jets fans. I guess how many responses I got?
Like serious ones or sarcastic ones? Because I
I put out a plea for Jets fans yesterday to try to help us with the Jets preview, and I got 0 responses. I'm not shocked. Are you shocked?
I know one. I know 2 Jets fans.
Well, could you get them on the show?
Dave Edney and my uncle Buddy, who I think is about 80 years old.
That would be great.
It would be great. I don't know if we would know.
Does he have cans? Does he have cans?
I don't think he has cans. I don't think he has cans. I don't think he has cans, and he would probably be pretty hysterical on here.
You don't need a camera.
It would be, you know, having my relatives on would be equal parts funny, and it'd be like having your brother on,
but a lot older.
What's that supposed to fucking mean?
Well, you'd be like, you said your Uncle Buddy's 80.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying my family in general. It's always an X factor.
Yeah, so you should dial him up. Dial him up. Let's go. Let's get Uncle Buddy on.
He lives in Florida. He's playing to sleep.
Early bird special, and he's done for the night.
That's right. Those are the only 2 Jet fans I know. Who the fuck likes the Jets?
So that's the thing. Like, if there was a year though that it was wide open to maybe steal the division, right? Out of the last 20 years, 25 years, 20 years, if there was a year though that maybe you could steal it, Dan, like, what are you thinking? The Bills are too good?
Yep.
Too good. They've been building for years.
Look, you can't count out the Patriots. I mean,
no, I know.
Cam Newton is he's serviceable, and if he fits into the scheme, and he doesn't, flake out like he did on Ron Rivera and cost him his job, like, Belichick's not going to stand for that shit, which is another problem why Rivera being in Washington is going to be trouble. On top of the 100 other problems that team has, is that, Rivera's Riverboat Ron, right? And he lets his players get away with things, and Washington's not the place you want that to happen.
No.
Man's got cancer.
But here, go ahead.
Can I share my screen for a second here?
You can. I'm terrified, actually. I will say, Belichick fawning over Cam Newton is I've never seen this guy talk about someone like this. Have you seen this week? He is like got a crush on Cam Newton, Bill Belichick. No,
it's because they hate Jarrett Stidham.
You think we should have had Ray Martell on the show today because he loves Stidham. And I don't know. He's the only person.
He's the only one. I mean, when Stidham, he got hurt at practice. I think he hurt he had like a hammy or something like that a month ago. This is when practice first came out. I mean, the poor guy, the idiots what's his name? Scott Zolak are on the radio just bashing Stidham.
What has he done? But he hasn't had a chance to do anything.
Well, technically he has had a chance, and apparently, he's just pissed them away. And I'm sure if you're Jarrett Stidham, right, and then you're like, great, now my time has come, and the Patriots go out and get Cam Newton.
What is the hair?
That's my fucking point. So I'm in my draft the other day. Oh no, this was this morning. I'm looking at fucking drop ad, and this is the guy's fucking Patriots picture. So don't tell me that the fucking Patriots with this fucking guy under center is a possible contender.
But they are. But
I never disagree with you when it comes to football.
I just think Belichick cannot be you cannot count Bill Belichick out.
The guy chased Tom Brady out of fucking Foxborough, of all people.
I like him more for that. I like him more for
there were extenuating circumstances there.
And putting Muhammad up on the cross.
But if you boil everything down to it, I think what Tom Brady at the end of the day, Tom Brady wanted to go somewhere where no one expected him to go and be successful without Bill Belichick. And now he's a trendy pick, and I don't think Belichick gives a shit.
And I don't think I think Bill's in that point of his career where he doesn't, and this may be the scariest Bill there is because he doesn't. And I feel like that's something you have to be careful about.
Right. And I mean, again, obviously Cam Newton and Tom Brady are two different people, and they're two different style quarterbacks, but that doesn't mean that Belichick can't adjust to that or have, his offensive coordinator team do it, and that kind of stuff. So
the only problem is he doesn't have the weapons, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, does he? N'Keal Harry had a great season last year. And, again, he got bagged at the beginning of the season and he came out pretty strong, right? And there's nothing that's going to stop. I mean, this is a team that signed Josh Gordon, right, when he was suspended. And then
they'll do something else like that, too.
Ocho Cinco. Think about it. Like, they'll take risks like that. If OBJ wants out, if Cleveland loses their first two games, you could guarantee, we talked about it before.
If OJ Simpson wanted to play football this year, they would sign him, and that's what would happen, right? So same thing goes for Aaron Hernandez. If he was available, they would sign him, and that's the truth.
I mean, I just the Bills. I mean, this all started when we were talking about the Jets, right? What?
No, it's just Aaron Hernandez. Remind me of something I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I know. So this division. Because we want to hit this division and do the NFC East as well. You're saying the Bills, Dan, are going to run away with this? Do you have a record you want to propose? What do you?
I don't think they'd run away with it. I mean, they're going to have to play the Patriots twice. They got to play the Dolphins twice. Once probably with Tua. And the Jets are hanging around. I mean, the Jets, probably be 8-8. I think they're a middling team. And again, who knows? I mean, they're used to playing in front of the quiet audience, so maybe the no fans thing will be good for them. I don't know. But, I mean, I would put the Bills probably winning this division at 10-6, 11-5 maybe, with the Patriots very close behind them. And then, the Jets can fight for a wild card. They probably won't make it. But,
so you think the Patriots make the wild card?
I mean, it's a possibility. I would say that, I mean, if the Cam Newton thing is a wild card. And I just don't – I think people are waiting to see, especially up here. Like, I live in New England. People are waiting to see just what they have up their sleeve. I mean, if they go down and I mean, they're not going to lose. Yeah, the thing is, the Patriots lose a lot in Miami. This game, I think, is in Foxborough. So, the Patriots hadn't lost in Foxborough for what, like 10 years, until they lost to the Chiefs or whomever it was. They get through week one. I don't even know who they're playing in week two. Let's hope there is a week two. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But, I think the Patriots could be competitive. It's just a matter of, like you said, of, what Newton can bring to the table.
Mr. Soriano, what's your feeling on this division?
Bills 10-6. I put the Pats behind them in the wild card. But I wouldn't count Miami out as a wild card possibility also.
So Jets in the cellar, huh?
Yeah. I would put the Jets in the cellar.
Adam Gase.
Adam Gase needs to take his eyes the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamison Crowder had a great season last year. I mean, it's going to be like the Giants. It's going to come down to what the offensive line can do, and if your defense can stay off the field.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I like Sam Darnold. I think they found a good quarterback with him. I think Le'Veon Bell's going to have a shitty season. And I think it's just it's the it's the one sport where no matter how bad the Giants are doing, no matter how bad my team is doing, I could rag on the other team. Like for all the shit I get as being a Mets fan, thank God I'm not a fucking Jets fan.
Oh my God. Listen, I mean, I think Miami's in the cellar in this division, but the Jets aren't going to contend for a playoff spot in my mind. I
think Miami would be a fun team to watch. Like the Bills were 3 years ago.
Yeah, Darnold, you're right. He's probably he's probably going to be an elite level quarterback, but if you can't protect him, what can he do? As we know, as Giants fans,
that's a perfect segue.
It is a perfect segue to the NFC East. So here's the cluster. This division will continue to be a clusterfuck, and I think it's going to be this year. I mean, I don't know. Last year was an absolute dumpster fire, Dan. I mean, what has changed? Anything? Has anyone leapt out and said, hey, we're that much better than last year? We're the odds-on favorite, and come get us. Anybody?
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, they brought in, they did draft linebacker, offensive linemen. So I think you got Lemieux, the new guy Lemieux in there, and then if you move Andrew Thomas over to left tackle.
It's the Giants we're talking about, right?
Are we talking about? We're talking about the Giants, right?
No, I just said that. Has any team jumped out and said, "Hey, we're that much better. We're the odds-on favorite"?
Well, I mean, as far as favorites go, no. But I think the Bengals would make a play for that. I mean, they drastically improved overnight when they drafted Joe Burrow.
No, I mean in the NFC. Stay on target. NFC East. NFC East.
Oh, the NFC East.
I think
the Cowboys locked in Elliott, right? And they locked in what's his face? Their Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
They have Amari Cooper, right? I mean,
they have Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're put together down there, and I mean, now we have Jason Garrett. Like within the division, like the Giants pick up the guy that your biggest division rival.
Well, no, I mean, Jason Garrett as a coordinator is not the same as Jason Garrett as a head coach. It's not. I mean, I don't have no problem with that move. It's an experienced coordinator.
Either, but, can we bring his father back?
Who?
Can we bring his father back?
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, the Redskins think they got better. They have Chase.
Who are they?
Whatever they're called, Washington Football Team. They've got. So that's the big wild card, right? Is they have Chase Young. Not only a Rookie of the Year candidate, but a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And I like Darius Slayton this year as a prime, like very high value sleeper pick. He had a great season in the last 8 games last year for the Giants when Danny Dimes wasn't on his ass. But I mean, now you've got I think the Redskins think that is Chase Young is a generational type player.
Yeah. And
a defensive player that everybody obviously wanted. He comes from good stock. He played for Ohio State, so he had some disciplinary issues, so fits right in with that Redskins, whatever, Washington Football Team mantra. But I think that makes just adding him makes the Washington Football Team defense. I mean, the worst thing I could possibly think of is on one of Kevin Gilbride's, notorious third down draws, Young moves up and then just buries Saquon for the rest of his career.
So, and that's where the Giants story comes back in, because this is if you've built your line and if Saquon can have a breakout year, it changes everything. Danny Dimes is now got a year under his belt. They're saying his leadership skills are phenomenal.
Got named captain.
That's where it's going to live or die with the Giants. What kind of protection do we have for Saquon and Dimes? And how does that end up? If it's a marked improvement, that could be huge. If it's not, the team's in last place again.
Yeah,
I would just say for Thomas that all the NBC sportscasters pick Kansas City. Everyone on Fox picked the Patriots to beat the Giants in the Super Bowl twice. So
this year,
I don't think they're also not picking against the spread. So I'm thinking long term there. But the Giants, Nate Solder is a waste. Jalapeo's gone. The Giants need a center. I don't know who they've got in the number 1 in the depth chart. To even snap the fucking football, which is how football is played. So and if you notice, Saquon likes running to the right or he goes into the middle. I mean, you got to shore up the left side. When Dimes drops back, he's got his back to the left. You can't. It's a blind side. I don't know. This is it's going to be a science experiment to see what happens, to see if Gettleman actually knew what he was doing this year.
You know what? Here's what I want out of this team. Disciplined football, fundamentally strong, and good play, and good coaching, strategic coaching, time clock management, the basics. I'm looking for the basics this season. If the Giants are 8-8 or even 7-9 and they show all those improvements, I'd be happy. Birthday boy?
Shermer, getting rid of Shermer was a addition by subtraction. I think Joe Judge, he seems like a really sharp, smart kid. He's a pedigree of 2 legendary coaches. You got to believe that if you go from Saban to Belichick, you're learning something. And so far, he's seemed very, very impressive. Danny Dimes, the kid showed some flashes of being a solid pocket passer last year. Saquon is Saquon. I think the best that the Giants can hope for is 8-8. And truthfully, I think the division is going to be won by a 9-7 team.
I agree.
And it's probably going to be the Cowboys. And if the Cowboys,
I agree.
If the Cowboys struggle, then
it's up for grabs.
It's going to be just horrible because Washington's garbage. Philadelphia's garbage in general. But
I was going to say we haven't even mentioned the Eagles. So what's the why? Like, is there not what's going on there?
Who's Wentz? Who's the? I mean, full or who's the? I don't know what the quarterback situation even is.
Is Wentz alive? Does he have all his legs?
He's ready to go.
He can make through a season? Well, no, that's a legitimate question. Can Carson Wentz make it through a season?
I mean, can Saquon Barkley make it through a season? Can Aaron Judge make it through?
That's no. The answer is no. For Judge, Saquon is not in the Judge bucket right now. Let's hold the phone, okay? Hold the phone.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing, the Eagles. Here's the thing, right? Is then we go back to last year, or this year's draft, which seems like it was last year. And I mean, if Wentz does go down, I mean, right behind him is Jalen Hurts. So
yeah,
and I guess you've got Kyle Lauletta, which is not really that.
Yeah,
but I don't think. I mean, Hurts is he's a very obviously serviceable quarterback that got overshadowed, and I mean, the benching of Jalen Hurts in that national title game 2 or 3 years ago was probably one of the most brutal things I've seen since who was it that shattered his leg in the middle? Was it not Reggie Bush? But who was that running back? Here's a trivia question for you. Somebody knows the answer to this. The running back who busted his leg in the national title game, ruined his number 1 draft pick slot. Anyway,
Tom Fislaki will look it up for us.
Somebody knows what the answer to that is. It's not Reggie Bush, is it? I don't think it was Reggie Bush.
So
I feel like
I think Reggie Bush.
I'm blanking out.
So
not Ricky Williams.
No, come on. It was like whatever. Anyway, back on topic. I think Philadelphia, they're probably a 10-6, 8-8. They're in that. Everybody's sort of in that neck of the woods.
9-7's the best. I think 9-7's the best you're gonna get out of this division. I really do.
Where'd you get this fucking map from?
That's why I brought it on the screen.
No way the Bills.
Hold on. The Bills Mafia is a thing, and we are we're very sometimes isolated from the rest of New York State. And if you get north of Orange, who do you think people vote? Who do you think people root for in New York State? Let's be real.
The Giants.
I don't agree with that.
No,
I really don't.
You lived in Buffalo.
Dan, you lived up there, and Dan, you lived up in Albany, Matt, in Buffalo. Did you what kind of
shout out
to Giants fans?
Shout out to I mean, there's plenty of Giants fans. Don't get me wrong, but shout out to Albany. Almost the Albany Bills backers meet at McGeary's Bar on whatever State Street or Pearl Street there in Albany. There's a lot of Bills fans up there.
I have a couple issues with this map bigger than that. Do you really think the Chargers are the California and Nevada football team? What the fuck is that?
I would say that.
Nevada
split.
That's fake news. I don't know when this chart was made. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not the Florida football team. Those are all New Yorkers, and you're getting either Jets or Giants in Florida. I actually think.
Dolphins too.
Yeah, I think you are.
The Dolphins were the team in the 70s.
Yeah, more Dolphins fans than Bucks for sure.
In the early 80s. I mean,
even today.
Yeah, Dan Marino.
Now, at the end of this year, that may be different, depending on what happens down there. That may be different. Okay, things might change rapidly.
I also find it hard to believe that there's no Rams fans in. Now, I can believe that the Chiefs are more popular in Missouri.
Yeah, the Chiefs have the middle of the country.
Yeah.
It was Willis McGahee who blew out his leg.
Okay.
See, and I was right, Ohio State. I remember watching that. I think I was at my parents' Stony Point, and I was like, well, there goes that, because you just saw his leg go the wrong way anyway. So, ombudsman moment.
That was good. So we like to have fun on the show. We have one start bench cut tonight out of the request for the birthday boy. Well, yeah.
Well, what about all the ones that I gave you 3 weeks ago?
Well,
we go there,
and we're running, and we are running out of time. So
quick ombudsman segment.
Yes.
Did you guys pick Tiz the Law to win last week?
Oh yes. Oh,
yeah,
God.
we did.
That's why he lost. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that I was absolved of any responsibility.
So I finally have access to the Naira app. I was all excited.
That's why
I bet like Tiz the Law straight up, and I did like a superfecta, and I.
Yeah. I mean, I wheeled him with Tiz on top, but I will say, for a New York horse, Saratoga Stables. Thanks for the memories this summer. He'll run in the Preakness. Maybe he'll get that one back.
I'm done betting. I'm retired.
Please stay away from the horses. You can bet all you want on. Put all your money in.
Can I bet against the Yankees the rest of the season? Maybe they fucking run the table.
Just go in the hedge. Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
We like to have fun on the show. So I just thought.
I have to insist that you do the other one too. That one was good. I made that one in your honor.
We could talk about that one.
Okay.
All right. So in honor of some of NFL's greatest shameful moments, we have our best. You introduce the segment, bro. It's your segment.
So no, it's NFL's best. I guess you call it mugshots. So LT, Ray Rice. I had Aaron Hernandez up here.
Well, just so you know, the reason why OJ's not on here is because he would just win. So we'll move.
But OJ's in the other one I did.
Yes.
And Michael Irvin, of course. This is Michael Irvin's modern day mugshot, not his 1990s cocaine and gun charges mugshot. Right.
So that's Ray Lewis at the bottom, isn't it? Not Ray
Lewis.
Ray Rice. Sorry,
it's the wrong mugshot. Same team. Different crime.
Wrong Ray.
My apologies. Wrong Ray.
A Budsman moment.
Budsman moment.
We gotta have the fact checker, like in a pardon the interruption.
I mean,
we gotta have the guy sitting in the back room, fucking fact checking us the whole show.
The only Tony Reale, the only one of these three that was made fun of on Saturday Night Live was Ray Lewis.
Well, it's not like anyone here killed anyone. Oh wait.
He's like, I didn't see anything. Whatever. That's a classic. Tom, you can look at that one.
Listen, here's the deal. And that's a modern day LT too. The OG
that was TLL.
That's probably in the Ramapo. That's in the Holodome. That's in the Holodome with the prostitute and his last charge is with that.
Yeah, but you know what the problem was? How old was that prostitute?
A little young. It's
terrible. So
listen,
he used to hang out at Bubba's Bagels in Spring Valley on Maple Avenue.
Hey, Eric's here. God, I know we started early, Eric, but we've been waiting on you.
Eric can probably validate that. Eric, did you hear all the Bubba's Bagels?
The diner? No, LT. We used to be in the diner. That used to hang out in the diner off of 59 and Airmont.
He'd buy his crack in Spring Valley behind Bubba's.
I thought he bought at the diner.
No, well, maybe he bought at both.
Dino, the diner guy. God, we probably.
I'm sure there are multiple opportunities.
Good thing I'm somewhere they can't find me.
Maybe it was just a Spring Valley urban legend. Who knows?
No, I'm pretty sure it's all true. So LT is a local boy from our hometown. He's my start. Like, you got to start, right? Severity of crime comes after that, or alleged crime. I'm sorry, alleged crime. So Ray Lewis gets benched, and I'm going to cut Michael Irvin because he didn't actually cut anybody.
The fact that Michael Irvin is a repeat offender, I mean, I guess they all are, but and the fact that Michael Irvin is on television just makes it like, and I swear, if he played for any other team, well, all right, but if neither of those men had won a Super Bowl,
OJ's on Twitter every day. What are you trying to say?
OJ did time, like hard time, and that wasn't for murder.
Not for the crime that he.
Not for murder, I get it. For stealing his own shit.
Well, that's why we got to
He
talk.
just wanted to take back his artwork.
I say you start LT, you cut Michael Irvin, and you bench Ray Rice.
Ray Lewis. Oh my God! Change the subject.
I can't. This might be the best segment we've ever done. I can't.
Pull up
I mean, the fact that
Why are we
Michael
talking?
Irvin-
What are you saying? You went to Franco's Pizza?
Yeah, is that
Wait,
where
I thought
the
Dino-
drop file was?
Franco's
thought Dino
Pizza is
was
terrible,
the guy-
by the way.
Oh, awful. It's gone with the OTB. I thought Dino was the guy who did the carjacking in the Nanuet parking lot.
No, that's the Brinks.
No. The guy that they arrested for doing the carjacking with the Jeep in the Nanuet Mall parking lot, he was like, it wasn't me, it was
was
Dino.
that?
Back in like 93, it was like the first carjacking, of course, took place in Nanuet. Mush, pull up the other one.
I don't know if I have the other one. I don't have it with me. All right, so
I have
listen.
it.
As we get older, we talk about conspiracies.
Okay. Do
This
you want me
is
to pull it up? I have it.
No, I don't actually. So
I spent a lot of time on that artwork.
let's just
Jason's obviously lying.
I'm disturbed.
You
So
can
on football, as we get ready for kickoff in like 5 minutes, we need to hurry up here. OJ Simpson tweeted a very, I don't know how you say, OJ's on Twitter every day. He's tweeting, and it was a pretty good, like, let's get ready for football. I embrace all of whatever the players want to say today. And it was a great tweet. I think if you're going to, by the way, if you have these other guys on TV, you might as well just hire OJ at this point. But neither here nor there. There's debate, like what actually happened that night. And I don't know.
Okay, so the three conspiracy theories that we were going to start bench cut is what Jason's trying to say was Nicole Brown Simpson killed by the cartel? Was TWA 800 taken down by a missile?
Yes.
And did Magic Johnson really have AIDS? Or does Magic Johnson really have AIDS? So
I don't know. Probably.
no, but those are your three top conspiracy theories.
They're really good conversations.
Right.
They're
No,
really good conversations.
I actually used your OJ conspiracy theory at a party the other day.
That might be my that's my
It was a
current
conversation starter.
my current favorite one, because people will just look at you like you're a madman. But there is some actual depth to that conversation. Let's put it that way.
Well, I brought up the TWA 800 one to
That's
Jenny.
not even that's an obvious, right?
Well, we were watching the Seconds from Disaster, and she's like, "Yeah, you two are idiots."
That maybe nobody's going to come out and say the government did something that they're not saying they did, right? They're going to worry about their own safety, which, by the way, I don't know where they can't find me, right?
I'm just gonna say, it was the Clinton administration.
Yeah. Listen, if you think there isn't more conspiracies out there and hidden truths, you're crazy. Like, it's true. They exist.
That's why we need to have DZ on here to tell us about.
Oh my God! If my brother was on here right now,
You guys
he'd
are
be
going
going.
full QAnon right now.
I was gonna say
going on.
we need to have DZ on here to tell us all about Q.
Right. Game.
Football is
So
starting.
it's time for kickoff. It's been fun, and we'll see what we have. We'll see what we have in store next week. We'll figure it out.
Apparently, Andy Reid is wearing a face shield.
Really?
I need to see
Face
this.
Well,
Can you get
because
cheeseburgers on there?
yeah, that's the thing.
because that's
It's gonna
what
be interesting.
he said. That's
We
what
already hit the buffet in the clubhouse.
Listen,
that's his favorite part about showing his ring is he gets his free cheeseburger.
Listen, it's been a rough year. Enjoy the football. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll talk about it all next week. Thank
Go
you,
Rockets. Go Rockets.
gentlemen.
Let's go.
Matt, have a great rest of your birthday. I
Thank
hope
you,
the
boys.
Giants win this week for you and your birthday, and we'll see you guys soon on the Grand
0-1
Central.
Giants next week.
The what?
0-1 Giants. We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week on the Grand
Oh,
Central.
The Rockets are down 16 at the half.
Watch football instead. Good night, everybody.
Good night, boys.
See ya.